So let's take a look at what I did for my second project. I got the second dataset from the UCI Machine Learning Repository website, and it contains information about the activities of a UK-based business, a retail business, an online retail business, and it is transactions for between December 2009 and December 2011. So now the data set is an Excel file. It's contained in an Excel file with two sheets. So to start with, we import pandas, and then I uploaded each sheet separately. So this is the first sheet and the second sheet, and then I now concatenated the two sheets. The two sheets are made up of 8 columns, and all the columns are the same. So I was able to concatenate the two sheets. Now, the first step was to look at if there were duplicates in the data, which there was. So because we started with 106, and then by the time I dropped all duplicates, we had 103 rows left. So all the duplicates were removed. And then we now did well, I looked at each of the columns. The stock code column had a lot of null values. The same with the customer ID column. So what I did, I thought of the fact that I'm not doing any stock related analysis, so I could easily drop the stock code column. And then, but I still need the customer ID column because I will be analyzing based on customers. So I left the customer ID column. So in this in the data set, there are a lot of under the description. The description is basically the names of all the products that they sell mostly. So what I did was to standardize the description column. So where you have things like plus, star, that's asterisk in front of a product or a description name, I changed it. I removed the asterisks. Then for the plus was representing and, so I changed the plus to and. Also did a lot of standardization, put space where there's supposed to be space, you know. Here in this Charlie, I put an and in between. So I did a lot of standardization doing that. Then there were a set of standardization that I did where, in most of the product descriptions, we have instances where it's written as set of three. So for it to be standard, so that we don't pick like the ones that are set slash three, we don't pick it as a different product from the ones that are set up, because the product that follows were the same. So I standardized it using a dictionary, and then did the same here too, using a dictionary where the key is the values I want to replace, and then the values are the new values that I want to replace them with. And then also with there were others that were like pack off, like this pack, put as pack of 20. Assorted was written as TD, we changed it to assorted. See, well, that's assorted color, so all that were also changed. Then yeah, like I said, we removed the star asterisk in front of description names. So here it was just filtering. Yes, so there were some columns where in the description column where the name was in written lowercase, whereas most of it was in uppercase. So I standardized by turning everything in there into uppercase. So this was just checking to be sure that USB office glitter lamp had been changed to uppercase. Yeah. So now, in the quantity and price column, I also noticed that there were some columns. There were some rows that were there were some values that were negative values, and since the quantity and price columns cannot carry negative values, I decided to remove all the negative values. So yeah, so you just filter the quantity and price column for negative values, and then also checked for null values. It's also checking for null values here, so there were no null values. So we're clear, no null values in and then I created a backup. So now this is just me checking for the unique countries in the data set. So the number of unique countries, which is all this. And initially I checked for countries with yeah, and then standardizing the countries, you standardize USA as United States, just like you have in the other countries, instead of abbreviations. RSA is South Africa, and on and on and on like that. I just filtered to check that all the changes have been done, and then use the placeholders for countries where for customer columns by country. What I mean is I used values between 110 and 1110 That's four ones and 111 123. So here I checked if those values, if they already existed in the customer ID column. So since they don't exist, that's what I used. So I represented each country with each each number. That's These are the choices to pick from. So from 11110 to 111 123, so that each country had a unique customer. For that, those are for the null values, countries where the customer ID has a null value, and I could not, and I didn't want to remove those values, those rows, because they're quite significant. So I put a place value there. So after I've done all my standardizations, I checked that there are no null values anymore. I now yeah, so this is my data frame, no null values anymore. So what I now did is I did this change to Ireland, to this Aries representation for Ireland. So I made the change: France capital, Channel Island, Jersey. So after all that had been done, it was now left for me to do my analysis. So here I did a table. I added an additional column that would calculate the quantity and the price. That's the total sales. It will be a multiplication of the quantity and the price, and then that column will be summed up. That's the sum of that column is what we have here. So after I'd done all that, I now, you know, exported the file. That's my Excel file. I exported it to Excel so that I can do further visualization in Power BI. In my report, I already captured all the key insights for each visualization, and then I made some recommendations. So for my report was done in Canva. I used Canva to do my report, and then I now, downloaded it as a PowerPoint. So for the online business, I gave it, just to create a logo for it, I gave it a name, which is a fictitious name called Retailia. So this is the overview of my reports, just talking about the business, the problem statement. We'll be analyzing based on sales, customer, and then the country analysis as country and sales by region. And then these were the methods, all the process that I explained earlier. I tried to put them here, or the process that that I undertook before I got it up to the level where I uploaded to Power BI. So these are my key metrics. And then this is the sales analysis, just showing the sales trend, and then the top selling products as well here. So as you can see that I broke down the sales per year, how sales was done in 2009. There was 822, then it grew to 9.7, and then in 2011 it grew to 11.3, and then that's in 2010 we have the sales increased in November, the most in November. And then the sales, we'll see that in 2010 the sales increased the most. In November, around sales increased around November every year. So that shows that there's seasonal increase that, indicates seasonality in the sales trend. And then it fluctuates, throughout the year, but peaks in the fourth quarter. So that's just a breakdown of, some of the analysis. And then this just shows the breakdown per country, and that the fact that the placeholder 1110 shows the highest sales is an indication that, there needs to be a more better way of capturing all the um, information. Also, this is the hottest region is United Kingdom, of course. And then the sales and the key insights, we have the highest sales month overall was in November 2011 with 1.5 million. And okay, so those are just the key insights, the recommendations for each analysis performed. And that's basically my report.